The good thing about everything I'm doing here today is you can do it at home. It's really that simple.
Whether you're a pro in the kitchen or a novice, the Viking Cooking School at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City will sharpen your culinary skills.
The concept is that we have folks come in, sign up for classes. They change day to day. They come in, they participate in the preparation of the food and the menu, and then at the end of the cooking demonstration and the interaction, we sit down and we enjoy the meal that everybody had prepared.
Opening their first restaurant in New Jersey, Be Our Guest Hospitality is preparing to open Bill's Bar and Burger right here in the casino, and just in time for summer.
It's our first presence in New Jersey. We're from New York City. We have a bunch of restaurants in New York. Dos Caminos that'll be opening at Harrah's is also our restaurant, and we'll be opening Atlantic Grill at Caesars in just a few weeks also.
In this class, students learned the secrets of how to make the restaurant's famous sliders, whipped up handcrafted milkshakes, and found out how to perfectly season fries.
Tonight we're doing...
For over 40 years, the band Chicago has rocked the music industry, having sold over 120 million albums worldwide and has scored 22 gold albums.
Well, first of all, we enjoy playing the music. Second of all, it doesn't ever get any easier, so you have to keep practicing to keep the chops together or you fall flat on your face. People want to hear it, we enjoy playing it, and it's a pleasure.
Performing in the Circus Maximus Theater at Caesars Casino in Atlantic City, Chicago entertained fans with their many hits. In an effort to give back, the band has teamed up with the American Cancer Society to give one very lucky fan one very interesting night on stage.
The campaign is that you go on our website and there's a banner up at the top that says Sing with Chicago. You click on that, donate money, and if you are the highest bidder, you get to sing If You Leave Me Now on stage with us. And you get a couple seats in front. You get to come backstage and meet us. I'm not sure how exciting that is.
Oh, I think it's fantastic that they're allowing someone to come up on stage with them. They're helping the American Cancer Society. That's just simply unbelievable that they're doing that. It was nice to meet them. A great group of guys, down to earth, just willing to help you, guide you. Wonderful.
Hi everybody, I'm Dave Bontempo for the Boxing Channel along with my friend Al Bernstein. Al called the fights tonight for Showtime. Carl Froch with the victory over Glenn Johnson. And how did you assess him tonight, Al?
You know, I thought that this was an extraordinary fight on several levels. First, I thought Carl Froch fought a great fight because he was pressed by Glenn Johnson and because Glenn Johnson made him fight very well. And every time Glenn Johnson hit him with a big punch or had a rally, and there were numerous times, Carl Froch came back with not just one punch, but a flurry of punches. Froch boxed, he punched, and he did all the things that he's going to need to do against Andre Ward.
Now, ironically, this is one of the best Glenn Johnsons I've seen. We saw him at 175 and get a lot of wins. He came down to 168, and he looked pretty spry.
You know, 42-year-old man who comes down at weight at 142 or at 42 years of age. Nobody does it, and Glenn Johnson was able to do it, and that weight wasn't a factor for him. Listen, he's 42 years of age, and if this had been the Glenn Johnson of 4 years ago, this fight would have been razor thin, or he would have won. But it wasn't that Glenn Johnson. Still, he fought courageously and had great moments in this fight. And round 8 of this fight, I think, is a candidate for round of the year.
Back and forth they went. Was a tremendous fight. Now, how do you handicap the final based on what you see here? What are some of the intangibles that can come in?
Wow, you know, I think it's a pretty tough fight to handicap. Carl Froch, I thought, who of course is a good talker. In fact, both of them, Andre Ward and Carl Froch, are both great communicators, but very different inside and outside the ring. And I think Froch made some interesting points here at the press conference when he talked about the fact that since Andre Ward is not a huge puncher, and Froch has a great chin, Froch's point is, I'm more of a puncher, I have a great chin. Unless Andre Ward boxes perfectly, he's not going to beat me. Now that's Froch's take, of course, and Antonio Tarver said something similar to that on our broadcast. You know, it's a challenge for Andre Ward because he's going to have to get Carl Froch's attention at some point in this fight.
We saw Froch with his left hand down by his side a lot in this fight. Do you expect he'll carry that forward into Ward? And is that a trap-setting thing for him, or is that something that he might have a problem with?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if he can fight any other way. I think that's what Carl Froch does. And I think it's a little harder to hit him with the right hand than people think. Even though Jermaine Taylor knocked him down, Johnson hit him with some big right hands. Now the question is, Andre Ward's quicker with that right hand than Johnson is. So he may land even more. The question is, will he hurt Carl Froch? Now, if he lands enough, of course, that's going to put him in a situation where he can win a decision. But, you know, the interesting thing is Carl Froch is one of those guys that you watch him on tape if you're an opponent, and you think, oh, yeah, I can get that done, but then it's a little harder in the ring.
You've now lived through something in the last few years that almost nobody can get to say. 2 boxing tournaments that went the distance. Boxino a few years ago, and now the Super 6, which launched a couple years ago, and it has made it all the way through.
Yeah, you know, I think Truman was president when we started this Super 6. Oh, no, maybe it was Eisenhower. But, you know, seriously, it's been fun. And I'll tell you what, one of the redeeming things, having a fight like this, exciting fight between Froch and Johnson that sends us into the finals was really good because that added a level of excitement. And I think, you know, sometimes, I said on the broadcast, sometimes things organically take care of themselves. You know, Carl Froch and Ward, it's a perfect matchup because you have, you know, 2 sides of the pond, you have 2 very distinctly different kind of personalities, different style of fighters, and they should make a good fight.
Well, that's how it is here in Atlantic City tonight. For the great Al Bernstein and the Boxing Channel, this is Dave Bontempo.